Welcome to ClusterCast, going it alone together. I'm Kevin, founder of the Cluster co-working and event space in Summertown, mostly winging it with enthusiasm, questionable choices and industrial strength imposter syndrome. After starting my business solo, the advice of other going it alone entrepreneurs kept me sane, so I'm chatting to Oxford's indie business heroes. It's cheaper than therapy and far more fun. Join me as we trade stories, compare battle scars and revel in the joyful chaos of building something from nothing, together, even when we pretend we're doing it alone. So I am here today for another episode of the ClusterCast, and today I have a lovely lady here called Roshni Ray. Roshni, you run a company called Tika and Tadka, and I've probably pronounced it wrong, not right.
Tika and Tadka.
Thank you. She says it a lot better than I do, and I'm so sorry. I will practice that, I promise. So thank you for coming on, and we're just going to find out a bit more about you, about how you started your business, about the difficulties or the joys of starting that business. And the aim of this is really just to help people who are looking into starting a business, but also finding out more about local independent businesses in Oxfordshire. So welcome to ClusterCast.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on. So tell us a bit about you and about your business and how Tika and Tadka started. Tell us a bit more about you, if that's okay.
So I'm Roshni, and I've started this business about 5 years ago. So when I kind of started this business, it wasn't like a light bulb moment, as you know, with most businesses are. It's a slow push. It was a slow build, because cooking is something which is I've been born and brought up in Kolkata in India in a Bengali household, and I've kind of always stood beside my mom, watched her cook, and that's how I have learned how to cook for the whole of my life. Like in our household, it was like cooking was not just food, it was like our identity. There was like cooking all the time. My mom, if anybody dropped in for like lunch or dinner, some 10-15 people, there was just food immediately ready. And it was just who I was. So I never thought of it like having or making that as a business. It was just like who I am. I cook, I love to cook, I love to feed people. And then, having been in various jobs over the years, I've worked in banks, in the NHS, everywhere.
Okay.
I think 2020 was the year when I was kind of ready to give up my job, and I had like a plan for a catering business to start. And it was like very much ready. I had a plan, I had all the insurances, everything ready, and then the lockdown was announced.
I hear that so much.
Just like
The worst
immediately,
timing.
and then we were like, what do we do now, because we can't do any catering, obviously there's no events happening. So we pivoted like overnight, and we launched these curry boxes locally.
Brilliant.
And they became so popular. Like that's when I realized like people just weren't hungry, so they were like kind of they wanted food but with a story. So there was like they wanted to relate to it, and that's when we stayed to the curry boxes, obviously. But from there, obviously, Tikka and Tadka was born, and now like 5 years later, we've done supper clubs, weddings, corporate events, pop-ups, street food pop-ups, like you name it, we've done it.
So you've really expanded, but you had to, when lockdown came in, you had to completely almost not change your business model, but choose a different business model that allowed you to access the audience that you couldn't.
To do the food.
It's amazing. So that's fantastic. And then you've grown from there and tried different things.
Yeah. So once the lockdown was lifted, obviously within the restrictions, we started small events, small gatherings, small street food pop-ups and stuff, obviously, because the word spread, and then people started inviting us more, and then we had our first wedding in 2022. And then from then, like this year we are already booked up for like 6 or 7, I think 7 in line. So 7
What weddings?
Yeah.
Wow. Crikey, you are busy then. So thank you for finding the time. And you also bought me some food in, so thank you so much for bringing that. It's not here, but I'm going to enjoy it afterwards. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to try it. So if you could go back to the start of your business, obviously we know that you were saying you had it all prepared, and then lockdown came in. Is there anything that you would tell yourself when you're looking at starting that business that you wish you knew now? As in that you know now, that you know now that you wish you'd known then?
Like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Or anything that could make your life a little bit easier or anything like that?
I would tell myself like a lot of things now. It's like, don't do that kind
Really?
of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, first of all, I would definitely tell myself to slow down because it's like kind of, you're not behind, you're building.
Yeah,
Because
that's nice.
I think, I mean, because initially when I started, I think as a home chef, I'm a home chef. I don't have any formal culinary background, no degrees, culinary degrees and stuff like that. And I think when you don't have a traditional chef background, you have to sell yourself twice.
Yeah.
Once for the food, once for the credibility,
Yeah.
everything.
That's tough.
And I think at that point, I was kind of trying to push myself too hard, like, oh, sometimes underprice myself, oversell, overwork, do everything just to because I didn't have a formal degree. But then I would tell myself just to always trust your instinct because my training was with my mum, which is based on instinct. And even if that's not a certificate, that's still
It's
worth
the
it.
best training,
That's
right?
still worth it quite a lot. And also I think I would definitely tell myself never to haggle over your own worth because there has been times, I mean, I know now for sure, like after 5 years, that if like a client really wants me to cater for their wedding or if a venue really wants me to host a pop-up or something, they'll pay the right price for it.
Yeah.
But underpricing yourself and just overworking and doing things just to push it doesn't make it
I really like
work.
the idea of just slowing down, and
Yeah.
because I think when we've heard this a lot on these podcasts, different pieces of advice, but one of them is that trust your instinct always comes up, which is so true, and I don't think you can hear it enough. Because I think when you're starting up, you're probably not so confident, and it's about selling you, especially as you were saying, you don't have those formal qualifications, although you have all those years and years of experience, with your mum, and also cooking comes from the heart, right? And you can
Yes,
tell that when
yeah.
you eat the food. You can really tell that.
Yes,
So I'll
definitely.
let you know when I eat the food later on. I'm ashamed to say I haven't tried your food yet, but I intend to try it a lot more. So, and I know
Thank
you
you.
also catered for, I think the previous marketing camp conference
Yes, we did.
at the Curzon. So I wasn't going to that one, but I am going to this one. But this year, I don't think you're
I think
catering
it's
this year.
Fiona.
I know.
Fiona
I'm sure it'll be
who's-
delicious, but I'm a bit
yeah.
gutted that I wasn't there last time. So, with Tika Tadka, obviously you're quite a varied business, as you've said, and you sort of do a lot of things from weddings to pop-ups to supper clubs. So what does a really good day look like in your business? And on the flip side of that, what does a more difficult, tricky day look like?
Pulling my hair.
Yeah.
I think a good day is definitely when like all the prep is done, the orders have gone out on time. There's no spilling around of stuff
Yeah.
and like everything's planned, and then somebody messages me saying I really love the food, it was really delicious kind of message.
Yeah.
And a bonus points if I booked like a wedding or a private event. So that's like my perfect day. I go to bed tired but very, very happy.
And how are you managing all these various different aspects of your business? Because is it just you on your own, or do you have staff, or do you have family members helping, or?
My husband, definitely, he's
Yeah.
on and off, in and out, everywhere.
Well done.
And my 8-year-old, sometimes I just give her unpaid
brilliant.
labor.
Well done. Get them
Unpaid
working.
labor.
Yeah,
Training
great.
her
Get them
up.
working.
But yeah, I do have help. Like, so there are certain ladies in the area who come and work with me often. They're like homemakers, but they come and work with me on certain like events, like bigger events, like weddings and stuff. And obviously then there's like a agency, like wave staffing and stuff, who I get staff from for serving food and things like that.
So would you say you're expanding, or after 5 years you are trying to sort of, you're not obviously not still honing what you do, because you clearly do it very well. After 5 years you have great reviews on Google. I've read a lot of them. So are you sort of expanding, or are you honing in on one specific part of your business, or you sort
We're
of?
trying to expand, definitely. I mean, to be honest, I am looking out for spaces now. So this is the point I've come to now. My ideal scenario is I am looking for a space where I can run a cafe or something, like
Okay, great.
Indian street food or something, because that's something I'm really passionate about. And some of the street food from my city in Kolkata, like Bengal street food, it's just brilliant, and it's nowhere here available in Oxford.
Apart from our cafe.
Yes, I have seen shakes. Yeah, but then we are like brothers and sisters
And
across
it's
the
very
border.
different, I think. And also the food you're doing, there's such a wide variety that you can.
Yeah.
I mean, we're quite dull in this country. Our food is pretty standard. I mean, I'm not dissing, our culinary expertise, but I think our food is quite boring, in my opinion. And I think there's so much more flavour and interest and stories behind those sort of dishes.
Yes.
So, so you're looking for a space. So if anybody's got a space,
Yes,
she's
definitely.
your lady.
Please, yeah.
And a bad day, what would a sort of harder day look like, or a more difficult day?
A bad day. A bad day is like when, and I have seen when one thing goes wrong in the morning. That's when
It's like a downhill
it's
slope.
just downhill slope from there, and it's like probably some things run out, and a customer calls in making last minute changes, saying, I mean, I've already done like half of the prep. And the allergen sheets, the labels have run out, and I mean,
Crikey,
sometimes
there's
I
so much,
really
isn't there?
wonder that like I have got and it's like happens quite often at middle of the night that I've got a master's in biosciences and I'm just fighting with the printer. Why is that? But
wow, that's amazing. I didn't. You slipped that in. You didn't mention that. A master's in bioscience.
Yes,
that doesn't mean you can use a printer.
No. I still struggle with technology.
Anybody can use a printer. I hate them. They're the most awful things in the world.
Yeah.
When they work, they're great. When they don't,
When they don't, yeah.
you
When
just
I
wanna
still
throw
have to
them
be
out
like,
the window.
Sam, where are you? So yeah, Sam's my savior all the time.
So we're saying basically printers are a bad day. And this is a bit of an odd question that we ask everybody that's been on the ClusterCast so far, but is there anything strange or random when you were starting up your business or more recently that you've Googled whilst you've been setting up your business? We've had some unusual ones. We've had some more standard ones. We've had some people saying they Googled themselves and they Googled sort of advice on different aspects of health and safety. We had some other slightly weirder ones, which people could go and Google for themselves.
That's true. I mean, when you start a business, I think you Google random stuff all the time. I mean, Google literally becomes another like a business degree.
Yeah, it really
that
does.
you need.
I know it's like a PA. It's like an extra PA. I know. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, but yeah, I think the weirdest thing I have done is like how to transport, like say chutney without making it like modern, because it is so difficult to transport chutneys and curries.
Yeah.
In the car.
As in to stop them from spilling.
Spilling, and especially with the condition of Oxfordshire roads.
Oh,
there's
God,
like,
yeah.
I mean, every time I'm either kind of like thinking about the curries in the thing.
Or the potholes.
Or the potholes.
Yeah.
And
so what did it come up with? Some really good Tupperware.
Yeah, so just
Tupperware.
basically like, Google gives you like really simple answers always. Just like use real airtight, sealable containers. But yeah.
We all know they don't always work though, do they? Although I have to say, see, we had Rebecca on who does Home Source on one of our episodes, and she buys a lot of stuff to help people sort out their houses. So we were having a proper sort of girly fest about, if I can say that, about Tupperware. We both absolutely love Tupperware. So if you want some advice about lockable Tupperware, I'm your man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll come to you.
I know lots about that. So everyone who's been on the ClusterCast has given us an idea of something they do on a daily basis or a weekly basis to sort of ground themselves or to sort of calm themselves down. Because we all know that running a business, especially as a solopreneur or as a partnership, is exhausting. So, but is there anything you do on a daily basis, apart from working and being a mother and being a wife, is there anything you do that sort of gives you a moment of sanity and peace and allows you to sort of get ready for the day?
Yeah.
Don't tell me you've got it all together, because then I'll feel really sad.
It's my mornings. It's my mornings. Like I know I do have a ritual. Like once the kids have left at 8:30, for half an hour, 8:30 to 9, I just sit down with myself. Like I don't even like having breakfast with my husband or anything. Like I just sit down with myself
On your own, yeah.
on my own with a cup of tea and my diary. I don't even look at my phone.
Really? Okay, well
no
done.
emails, no messages, no WhatsApp, nothing. So just sit down, plan the day.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do first, which spice mixes I'm going to make, and all of it, and which orders are going out first. So basically, like plan out the whole day while enjoying my tea. And I think that half an hour kind of prepares me for the whole day. Like it just makes me ready I know I'm in charge then. I know I'm in control, because I think especially when you are a solopreneur, having a structure, having some boundaries is like really important, because that structure is like, it gives you peace of mind. Yeah, it's definitely works for
I'm
me.
smiling because I need to take that advice, because I'm quite chaotic. So I'm quite reactionary. So hearing that is really important for me, because my first instinct when I wake up is to check my phone, which is it's fine, I think, because you've always got to be available. But equally, I think actually having a moment where you just set
Just
your
that
day.
half an hour,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
where
just set your day and you don't get distracted by anything else. So I think that's, yeah, I might try and take that advice. I'll try and follow it. Um, and so for anyone who's listening to this and is thinking of starting up their business, or is sort of a little bit further on in that process, is there anything you would say to them to sort of either encourage them or direct them, or sort of help them on their way? Is there anything that any piece of advice that you would give them that you think they could use as they start up their business? Apart from it's terrifying.
It is, yeah. I think definitely my first advice would be to start smaller than you think you can,
Mm,
so that it's easier to manage, and also it's easier to have an offer and be consistent in the offering. So consistency is the key. I mean, you
mm,
have to be in and out day in day. You have to keep doing it whether anything comes in your way, because once you stop you stop offering that,
mm,
that's it. That's like the whole chain breaks, and then there's so much competition around,
mm.
that people just go in here, and then again, like, yeah, don't haggle your own word. Like, don't underprice yourself. Don't think about like, oh, maybe I should, because I'm a newbie, maybe I should charge at lesser price,
Mm.
because people will then come to me. They won't. If people value your
They'll
stuff,
pay for
they
it.
they will pay for it.
I think that's really good advice, because I think when we're starting up a business, our instinct is to always undersell
Yes.
ourselves. I think unless you're incredibly confident and
Especially
potentially.
because there's so much competition around. That's the first instinct.
Yeah, but I think actually just this idea of consistency, we have heard that, but not enough, I don't think, in these podcasts. And I think actually being consistent with a product offering, whether it's food or for me, it's co-working and the events, I think if you offer something consistently, people have a space they can come to where they trust. And then instinctively, they then trust you, and then they start to recommend you. And I think you'd probably agree that actually personal recommendations are worth their weight in gold. Because I imagine you've probably got a lot of business from people recommending you because they've
Yeah,
tried your
most of
food.
my businesses, and that's again like being a part of the community, because like I think small businesses are not built on algorithms.
Mm,
They are built on word of mouth, trust from people recommending each other, and being a part of the community. And I think especially like us being like this part of this independent group,
mm.
which is
It's
very
brilliant,
helpful.
isn't it?
It's brilliant,
Yeah,
because there's so much that comes around back to us,
yeah.
because we are part of this community. So giving into the community and then getting back, it's equally
And it's really
important.
lovely on Independent Oxford to see on the WhatsApp groups. Those are the things I value the
Yes.
most, being able to see what people have been up to, because they have sort of Good News Friday.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
always
love
feeling
that.
in particularly good
But
news on
then
a Friday.
it's lovely
Good
to
way.
see,
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
read of what people are
Yeah,
doing.
because I
And
think people are always willing to share sort of when they're struggling, but equally actually seeing how well people are doing, or where they're succeeding, or they've sort of reached they've jumped a hurdle. So yeah, no, I really like that advice. It's great. So I've got to finish off we've whizzed through. I hope that's okay. Mostly because I know the food's outside. I always have a random question. I've been thinking about what to ask you. It's normally a would you rather, or what this or that, or what if. So if you could live without herbs
Hmm.
and spices, or this is a weird one, or utensils. That's such a
Wow.
random thing. I know it's really weird. You have not heard the other ones I've asked. That I came up with that on the spot. Did you notice? It's dreadful. Yeah, herbs or utensils. Oh, not herbs, spices.
Mm,
This is testing your left brain. This is a bit weird.
mm, mm, mm. I can live without utensils,
Yeah,
but
good.
not spices.
Yeah, good. Because I was going to say I would happily have your food served to me in
Yeah,
my
yeah. I
hands.
mean, and you can do so much without like utensils. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can make do shift if you don't.
It was a weird
mean,
question,
the-
so well done for answering it. Really random. And I kind of hope you never have to live without spices because your food wouldn't quite have
my
the
food
same
wouldn't
impact.
be my food if
Exactly,
it was
yeah.
without the
And
spices.
just because I'm curious, you know the little, the sort of bowl that you often have in Indian and Bengali cooking. And they have all the various different spices.
It's a dabba. It's called a masala dabba.
Okay.
So it's called a masala dabba, which is there in every household, where you've got the basic, the coriander, cumin, turmeric, chili. These are like the 4 basic spices
Yeah.
which are used in every Indian, like South
Really?
Asia,
Wow.
like say Indian, Bangladeshi, or Pakistani, or like basically Southeast Asian cooking.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that dabba is there in all houses. So like the masala dabba.
And then do families add their own sort of mixes to those?
Yeah,
So
and
you have
then-
your own sort of family.
Yeah, I like because
dabbas.
I mean I am from Kolkata, Bengali. I'm a Bengali, so kind of like a bhaja masala that we do. So some of the spices like my homemade
Your own
ones.
blends.
Yeah, my
That's
own blends
exciting.
like taught of my mom, her mom, my grandmom. Some of them are shop brought. So yeah, it's a mix.
And so those are sort of family recipes, right? Secret family recipes, secret blends. Would you pass them on to your children?
Definitely.
Amazing.
Not only children,
Amazing.
if there's anybody else who wants to come and learn and who want to.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the more you share, the more you learn.
And so do you do classes as well or not at the
I have
moment?
thought about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I have thought about it. It has crossed my mind, like, to see if I could, share my knowledge.
Yeah.
But,
So
that's
we're going to
true.
post about, we'll do some posts about your website. So obviously you've got a website, Instagram page. What's your Instagram page? What's the handle?
It's Tika _and _Tadka.
So those
TADK.
Underscores are so frustrating. Did somebody else have the whole name?
Yes.
So annoying. Give it back. And do you have anything coming up that you'd like to talk to us or promote very soon, like a supper club or a
I
pop
have
up
one
or a
on
fair?
Friday
Where?
at the Port Mahon.
Yes, I saw it advertised. You're
Yes,
very
yeah.
good at advertising, actually. I need to get to the Port Mahon, and they had the Independent Oxford. I think they had a quiz there, the Christmas quiz.
Yeah,
Were you there?
I was
Yeah,
there.
you
at
went
the
to it. Did you?
Christmas. Yeah,
I think you came
because-
second, didn't you? And
Yes.
Your team came second.
Yeah, the team came
Just
second,
say
and I
yes.
think I won the Christmas jumper thing.
Did you?
Yeah,
Good
but-
work.
yeah.
Good work. So that's at the Port Mahon on
On
Friday.
this Friday, the ticket sales are on till Thursday.
Okay, and how much is it? And are there any
It's-
tickets left?
There are a few tickets left, and it's 4 courses and a complimentary drink, and it's £45 each.
That's a bargain. So go and book. And they can book that through your website?
Yes.
I might have to come along to that. I'm not busy on Friday. I might go and book
Please
a
do.
ticket.
Please do.
So listen, thank you so much for coming on the ClusterCast. And I really hope that Tika and Tadka, I've still said it incorrectly. I'm sorry. I'm trying. But listen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for bringing the food in. I'm going to try
Thank
that and
you.
I'll probably
Thank
do
you
some
for
posts
having
about that on Instagram. That was my watch. I'm so sorry. And yeah, we've got some more episodes coming up. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
having me.
We've got more episodes coming up. Please subscribe and follow on YouTube. We have quite a few subscribers now, which is great, and they're engaging with our content. So see you very soon. Thank you. Thanks for listening to ClusterCast. If you've enjoyed today's dose of entrepreneurial honesty and mild chaos, do stick around for more. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, watch the episodes on our YouTube channel, or pop over to clusteroxford.co.uk for the full Cluster experience.